Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eddie. If this is your first time here, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to let me know that you guys stopped by to hang out with me. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, your support is always appreciated on this channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the topics for today. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but we have this lady that came across my TikTok For You page who apparently is upset because her husband, from what I understand, has a daughter with someone else prior to her, and she is graduating with her. Well, she's graduating pre-K. This is the story that's being told. She's graduating pre-K, and the wife. I'm gonna say the new wife. I don't know if he's been married before, but I'm just gonna call her the new wife because he's married to her now. So the wife is also graduating on the same day as the daughter, but she's graduating with her second MBA. So kudos to you, Queen. You're absolutely doing the damn thing. But they're coming hard for her down to the TikTok because they're saying she's being selfish. But you got some other people on the other side who are saying that, hey, it's just a pre-K graduation. It's not that deep. He should go to his wife's graduation because she's graduating with her second master's. So I'm going to play the original video. Then we're going to get into some commentary and some reactions. Then, of course, I'm going to come back and give my reaction as well. So go ahead and sit back, relax, and let's get into the content.
Did y'all see that post that's going around where this guy said that he cannot attend his wife's college graduation because he's going to be attending his daughter's pre-K graduation? Yeah, let's talk about it. So he basically was saying that his daughter's mom let him know that her pre-K graduation date is the same date as the wife's college graduation to get her master's degree. Now, he texted the wife to let her know that he cannot attend her event because he needs to attend his daughter's pre-K graduation. Now, I'm all for showing up as a father, but we are talking about a pre-K graduation that this little girl may or may not remember, and she'll have many more graduations to come over your wife's college graduation to get a double master's degree, all for a macaroni necklace ceremony. Is crazy work. You will be good and divorced.
Not a macaroni necklace ceremony. Woo-wee.
That's going around where this guy said that he cannot attend his wife's college graduation because he's going to be attending his daughter's pre-K graduation. Yeah, let's talk about it.
I can't be the only one who thinks this is only an issue because it's his daughter and not hers. Because if it was a kid that they had together and they're both graduating on the same day, I guarantee you the mother would want him to go to be with that child because she wouldn't want the child to be disappointed. There's been so many of those videos where I've seen where there's a kid walking on the stage and they're looking for the father, trying to see if he's in the crowd. And as soon as they see him, you can see how their face just light up. They get so excited because the presence is extremely important. Him being there for his daughter was more important for her development than him being there for his wife. And don't get me wrong, his wife's accomplishment is extremely important as well. But as an adult, it's easier to understand why someone wasn't there compared to a child.
All right, we 1 for 1 with the reactions. We 1 for 1.
But as a wife and a mom, I would have 100% supported my husband attending his child's pre-K graduation over my graduation, even if it was a double master's. Let's talk about it. So I came across the video just a minute ago, and a girl was ranting because a husband chose to attend his child's pre-K graduation over his wife's double master's degree graduation. And I get it. I know what the word says and all the things, wife comes first, everything. I get it. And for the most part, yes, that child is going to grow up and leave, and then it's going to be you and your wife. I know, I get it. We all know. However, when it comes to children, 4 or 5 years old, they know who was not there for them. The wife knew that child existed before whatever, or had to, because the baby ain't but 4 or 5, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But anyway, I could not sit in a place of anger and be upset because, one, it wouldn't have even been a conversation in my house. We show up for our children. We don't care what we have going on. If my child is throwing a piece of paper across the classroom and parents are supposed to be involved and supposed to be there, daggone it, we're going to be there. So, yes, he should have been there. Baby, my trip is booked. Baby, my truck better be sitting out in the yard with a bow on it. I'm good. I would be okay. Shoot, I probably wouldn't have even walked. So, wouldn't that been a big deal to me? You show up for your child. We can celebrate at a different time. I just found it weird that people were in the comments also saying, well, it's just pre-K. I can see if it was graduate high school, but it's pre-K. I don't care what it is. You show up for your child, period. They are going to look out there and see you not there. Imagine that. Ain't no way. Not my child. And we love to say stepchildren should be just like your real children until something like this happened, because she can't have any children. If it was her graduation and it was her child that was graduating, would she have not gone to her graduation so she could attend her graduation? It's giving no, because it's giving selfish.
Said that he cannot attend his wife's college graduation because he's going to be attending his daughter's pre-K graduation. Yeah, let's talk about it.
And you'll find me at the pre-K graduation. That's where I'll be. In this hypothetical situation, I love my wife. I would love her uncontrollably. And it is my prayer that I'm married to the kind of woman who would understand I'm not going to miss a milestone in my child's life. And not only does she understand it, but she supports it. And there are some people on this app that are going to say, it's just the pre-K graduation. She's not going to remember it. And y'all might be right. But guess who will remember it? Me. And I'll be there taking pictures, taking videos. And someday my kid is going to see those pictures. She's going to see those videos. And guess who's going to be in those pictures? Guess who's going to be in those videos? Her daddy. But you know what? For me to end up in a situation like this, it would have to be my fault. There's no other explanation. It would have to be my fault, because somewhere along the line between the day we met and this day, I must have given you a vibe that says I'm the type of father that would miss out on a milestone in his child's life. Because otherwise, I don't even know why we're having this conversation. Because it's really not supposed to be a conversation. It's more of an acknowledgement. I'm letting you know this is where I'm going to be. Okay? And if this is something that offends my wife so greatly to the point that she feels like a divorce is the only way to go, where do I sign?
You know, every day, some of y'all surprise me with how selfish y'all can really be. I'm always a little bit flabbergasted and just a little bit shocked about how simple, pick-me-ish some of y'all can be. Really, most of the reactions that I saw passed the vibe check, except for the one girl in the very beginning. She didn't pass the vibe check for me. I'm sorry. I'm going to just say it. I don't agree with her. Listen. When it comes to stuff like this, we don't play about the children, okay? And I don't even want to tussle about it, because I always feel like children come first, okay? Now, I only played really one reaction that was kind of like, didn't pass the vibe check. But online, there were a lot more women on there, surprisingly, that said that, oh, it's just pre-K. It's not that serious. But I get the vibe that the women that say that are the ones that either A, are not mothers themselves, because I feel like if they were mothers, they probably would have a different opinion about that. Or B, they're kind of just being pick-me's and they just want to be picked and they want it to be all about them. And that's really the only explanation I can think of, because since when do the children not come first? Now, this is the thing. When you date a man or woman with kids, you are second fiddle. That's an old term, but you are second fiddle. I'm sorry. The children are always going to come first. You're never going to be top priority. You should not be top priority. A man or woman does not just forget that they have kids with someone else. Forget about the relationship between the man and the baby's mother. I don't know if she's an ex-wife or if she's a baby mother. I don't know what their relationship is or if they were even ever married. Not that it even matters. Forget about their relationship. It's really about the relationship between the man and the daughter. This is how daddy issues start, right? And this is how some women or some girls grow into women who have daddy issues, who have abandonment issues, who settle for men that exhibit the same type of behavior, because this is the behavior that some of their fathers showed them. So now they think it's okay to be treated a certain way in relationships and in marriages, and they settle for less because that's what they were shown. But I digress. I'm just saying, listen, your reaction really should have been more understanding. You are a full-on adult, and this is your second MBA, and this is the one you want to throw a fit over. You've been across the stage before. This ain't your only time. If you're getting a second MBA, that tells me that you've already walked across the stage for possibly your associates, depending on where you went to school. You probably walked across the stage for your bachelor's. You walked across the stage for your first master's, and now you're about to walk across the stage yet again for your second master's. Now, like I said in the beginning, that is a huge accomplishment. That is not, I'm not oblivious to that. That is a huge accomplishment, and I'm not trying to take anything away from you when it comes to that. But this is your second one. If you've been in school this long, who knows? You might even get a third. So I really think that pre-K, I don't think pre-K is a huge deal, but to the daughter, it may be a huge deal, right? This is her first graduation, her first time walking across the stage. I'm not missing my daughter's first time walking across any stage. I'm sorry, I don't care who I'm married to. So it's just going to have to be what it is. Now, double major, like I said, that's a huge accomplishment, but it's not like it's your first master's, right? It's not like it's your bachelor's. Like, I'm not trying to say that's not important, but the fact that he's a father to this little girl, and this is her big moment as well, that really should be where his priorities lie. And from what I hear, that's where he went. So he didn't make the wrong choice, in my opinion. I feel like you were being a little bit selfish in that regard. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it like I see it. I think that was a little bit selfish. Your reaction was really selfish. Now, I would have been disappointed. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have been disappointed because she didn't get notice of it until literally the day before. So this whole time you're thinking your husband's going to be at your graduation, and now you find out that he's not. That's disappointing. You are entitled to feel that way. However, as an adult, you have to put that to the side because you chose to marry a man that already was a father, and that is always going to be his first priority. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's just the way it is. Now, moral of the story, when you date somebody with kids, think about it wholeheartedly, right? You may really love the person. They may be perfect in every other way, but when you don't have kids, your level of understanding and sometimes your level of understanding of the commitment that it takes to be a parent may be a little bit skewed because you don't have that experience and you don't have that firsthand knowledge of being a parent. So, and like the last guy said, for y'all to even really be having this argument or conversation, it really shouldn't even happen, because where along the way did he give you the impression that you were a higher priority than his daughter? Why would you even think something like that? That's actually, now that's the weird energy for me. That's really, really weird energy for you to ever think that you are above somebody else's kids, somebody who already had existing kids. For you to think that you're above them is very, very weird. I don't get that. I don't get it. I don't like it. Now, personally, I wouldn't date somebody with kids because I think that that's a very tough thing to do, because when you don't have kids, you're able to do a lot of things that people with kids can't do. You're able to pick up and go on vacation. You're able to be really, really spontaneous. You have all this extra time to go on dates, to go to the movies, to go shopping with each other, just to hang out on a random Tuesday afternoon. People with kids kind of pick their kids up from daycare. They have to feed the kids. They gotta take them to soccer practice. They don't have the luxury of just picking up and going whenever they want. So that's why I say when you choose to date people with kids, you gotta be really, really careful, because they don't have as much time that you may think that they have. They don't have the luxury of just waking up at 1:00 p.m. on Saturday and just, lounging around the house. The kids are going to be up probably like at 7 or 8 asking for breakfast. If the kids are with them primarily, even if they're not with them primarily, they still have a lot of responsibility. They can't just abandon the kids with the mother or with the father because now you want to go out and date. It don't really work like that unless you're a deadbeat, which I hope that you wouldn't marry a man like that. Anyway, speaking of that, I don't even know why anybody would want to even marry a man or be with a man that would pretty much, not attend a big moment for his kid to go to your moment. Like, I don't feel like that's the kind of person I'd even want to be with anyway, because it just tells me that if we ever had kids and it didn't work out, you're going to treat our child the exact same way. Because one thing that I know is that when you marry a man or a woman that does stuff like this, well, not that he did it, but that would do something like what you were suggesting that they do, when it doesn't work out with you, they are going to treat your kids the exact same way. And you really can't complain because you already knew the type of person that they were. So I don't mean to get on her too much because, I can go on and on about this. But bottom line is, I think she was wrong. I hope they don't get divorced, but I just hope that they have a conversation so she can get a better understanding of how this goes, okay? I hope social media, wasn't too harsh on her. But I do think it's kind of like a learning moment for her, because I don't know what she thought. I really don't know what she thought. But anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Sorry I've been gone for a little bit. Life's been lifing as it usually does, but what else can you do? But I am glad to be back on here posting. So I hope I get to post again this weekend. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. If I don't post, enjoy your weekend. Like I always say, don't work too hard. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.